engage Dr. Iman Blak, article reasoning, article teaching. Come, be edutained. Metamorphosis.
Each and every Monday from 9 p.m. to 12 midnight.
Time, space, and mind. The basic dimensions of reality. Sound, movement, and thought. The basic responses of I and I. Metamorphosis.
Keep listening.
In life I shall be the same. In death I shall be a terror.
Iman Blak, me no brown, me no white. Nazi Babylon stripe, you mad.
Guiding I eternally. Guide I. It's the voice that sets me free. Guide I.
Emerging from a cocoon into a caterpillar, from a caterpillar to a butterfly. The metamorphosis is here, is live. Metamorphosis.
Metamorphosis, word, sound and power, music, drumming, current affairs, everything to grow and lift up your mind. Metamorphosis.
No more youths and youths for sale. We get wise and don't decide to change their style. Bobby wrong, keep your empty promises and your crooked smile. Metamorphosis, come with your thoughts. Change your way of thinking. Metamorphosis, the change begins with you.
I'm going to pass it. Black men of Ethiopia, Timbuktu, Alexandria gave the light of civilization to this world. Ethiopia shall stretch forth our hands unto God, and princes shall come out of Egypt.
Guide I. It's the voice that sets me free. Guide I.
Good evening, Iman Blak.
Good evening.
This is Pauline from St. Mary. Calling to big you up on your program. I am a disciple. I've been there since almost inception.
Guide I. It's the voice that sets me free.
I just you may have to tune into because, me always even watch some of the television and stuff and that I have to see for later. I have to really listen to you first, you know what I mean?
How ma one one machikum bakhna Africa da fa bakhna kida fanya kida farafet one machiki bunjul kida fa bunjul one yande kesawai kida fa bunjul one machiki bunjul kida fa bunjul dafnen rafet yom entamenda ingama get dafnen rafet yom entamenda ingara dafnen rafet yom entamenda ingara did you know that's a richer Africa did you know that's a richer Africa, did you know? Said the whole world love it, did you know? Said the whole world love it. Be proud of your culture. Be proud of that what you got. Be proud.
fire up.
Shall not enter. These are all alone. The wax on a true monster. Sipping from the cup of peace. Chant down a Babylon. Chant down Babylon. Chant down a Babylon. Chant down Babylon.
Greetings. Metamorphosis. Dr. Iman Blak. Live. Styles FM. Another wet Monday night in Port Antonio. But the ship keeps on sailing. Styles for FM. Yes, this is a time when, at this time of the month, the period, as a transition period from one month into another month. So it means a chance to resurrect energies if you're moving along the cycle along the monthly cycle. It also means that this is a program where the lines are open. The last program in each month, open the lines early tonight, because things are bubbling up out there, and perhaps another perspective is needed to create a little sense of purpose in living, because it is becoming more difficult to live. When people ask me what's up, I always tell them, well, the cost of living, and then the sun. Yeah, certain things are just always up. The cost of dying is also going up. So we have to pause and examine ourselves consistently. So Metamorphosis here, and we look very keenly in this session on something that has gripped the Jamaican scenario. The focus will be more local and international in this exercise. I want to examine what is really this experience that we're having in Jamaica called the state of emergency. How many state of emergencies has Jamaica experienced since independence? How many? What has been the significance of holding a state of emergency? And then I want to examine the real focus behind the need, the call, a state of emergency. What has to be the preconditions? What has to be the conditions that lead a government to declare a state of emergency, particularly on an island like Jamaica? So we're going to begin the examination in terms of looking at the state of emergencies that have been established from 1976, 1978, 77 to 2018. That's a roughly a 40-year period. 40 years. So within our own examination within the metamorphosis now, we're going to see what has happened over the last 40 years, why there is a need now for another state of emergency in 2018. So we're going to use the 1976 state of emergency as a marking point. I'm going to look at the trajectory from 1976 to 2018. Just a little bit over 40 years. And we're into another state of emergency. What have been the main players? over those last 40 years that has brought the country to this condition. So when I examine from 1976, the state of emergency that was called by the PNP government at the time, under Michael Manley. I'm going to look at the state of emergency called in 2018 under the JLP, under the leadership of Andrew Holness. And what has happened to the Jamaican people in those 40 years? How many of us have migrated? How many have escaped? And how many have been killed and are dying presently? What is the purpose of these emergency states? And the critical thing we're going to start out by looking at is that the one that happened in 1976 happened in Kingston and St. Andrew. And at that time, nobody could vision a state of emergency required anywhere else in Jamaica. So 1976, Kingston and St. Andrew, state of emergency, all kind of things going on. Army called out just as the present condition, politicians being arrested. We're going to go into it. But then when we look 40 years down the road now, we are here at 2018. And we say a state of emergency call. This time is nowhere near Kingston and St. Andrew. It's way at the other end of the island. So what happened in the 40 years? What has happened in the 40 years between 76, 78 and 2018? What has brought about this tremendous transition in the Jamaican state of violence? And why has the center moved? And how has the center been moved? And what is the role? Who are the forces that are responsible for the state of affairs? So we're not trying to find out now who to blame. Because who to blame don't produce solutions. The blame game never provide a solution. What we want to know is who is responsible. And when we can identify who is responsible now, we can charge them for being irresponsible or derelict of duty. So that is part of the journey in the metamorphosis, looking through the Jamaican society and the level of violence that we're at in 2018 and how it really go on from 76, 78. What are these motivating forces that has brought us to another state of emergency now in Western Jamaica in 2018? The metamorphosis also wants to cast out some opinions and thoughts on the Grammy Awards and the implications and all the things that surround the winning singer. Is it something that is being controlled by a family line? Is it because of lack of production in Jamaica? Is it because of lack of involvement in the Grammy Association by Jamaicans? What are the real factors behind? And is it really something that has been controlled by a family? Or is it that, for example, Chronics need to come again? We don't know. So we're going to look into that and see what are some of the social factors that surround these kind of decisions. And how is it Jamaicans only get excited at the time of the Grammy Awards? And when the awards are over, everything done, and nothing is really organized to improve the chances the next year. And we'll just wait and grumble again. So we're going to look into that in a different way. And of course, the lines are open. So things have been happening globally. The trumpet has been blowing, and the effects are resonating throughout the planet. If you have a point of view that you would like to express and share on the metamorphosis, this is the time, 453-1444, local number, and WhatsApp is up, and the stats and the other type of technology is here, the text lines. So you can ring into the studio, say what you're saying. Is it that we still have people calling out upon Jesus? Do we need the blood of Jesus? Is it time that we exorcise the ghost out of our family system to free ourselves to reconstruct our family life? These are things that I and I will examine in this metamorphosis. So again, welcome ones and ones, first time listener, greetings. Strident, long time listener, all the vibration as we unlearn and recondition our greatest machine that we have access to, the brain. And at the center of the brain is the greatest organ and the highest level of consciousness dwells within the brain, in the pineal. So everything is everything, and the I remains supreme. Metamorphosis. Facing a state of emergency in Western Jamaica. Advisories have gone out that Jamaica is now a dangerous place, and consulates are advising their citizens to be cautious, don't be caught in certain areas of Jamaica, and the whole thing just a gone and just a gone. And we're now calculating how many people are dying per hour in Jamaica, and this is the mathematics reach. First time, a couple of weeks ago, it was how many people dying for the year. And they will do the maths to see how many people dying per month. And they will go down to how many people dying per week. Now it reaches per hour. Sensationalism, this, you know. All of this is sensationalism. Keeping the island on its edge. Driven by the paranoia and the fear and the thing that it's coming like the same thing trying to happen in America, where them trying to run the place by fear. And govern by bringing in law, martial law, as a greater plan for military control over these regions. So, to begin, and to try to create an understanding for those in our population. If you're born 1978, you'll be 40 years old today. 1978. Make you 40 years old. That means that you have born just a year after the state of emergency of 1976, 77. A lot of our population is much younger than that. So a lot of the population in Jamaica don't have any insight as to state of emergencies that happened before the night before the 2000 began. Now the records show that Jamaica has had prior to this one, we have had 5 declarations of a state of emergency in the history of Jamaica. We have about 5 of them, separate from this one. This will be number 6, what's going on now. The first one, the record shows, happened in 1966. The second one was in 1976. The third one was in 2004. Then 2007, 2010, and now we have another one in 2018. So what has been the reward and the return from all of these activities? What really happened every time the government draw for this? And we're starting with 76, because 76 now is a critical point in our political history, that 76, 77 period. And this is the time in Jamaican political history when the two political parties for the first time had a distinct difference. And I'll make it a little bit clearer now. The country got independence in 1962. And between 1962 and 1974, thereabouts, both parties had the same ideology. Both of them were capitalist oriented. Both of them were driven by the concept of a free market. Because remember now, this is a sort of legacy of the British colonial structure that the Jamaicans inherited. So capitalism was the way forward, and democracy was the way considered, because people should have a right to vote, and we were a constitutional monarchy, and we have the trappings of England. All was wonderful. When we get to 1976, there's a second election, because in 1972 it brought to power Michael Manley and the PNP. And everything was okay in the first term, relatively, between the two parties. 1972 up to 76, PNP and JLP. In the confrontation, we just, a man got through a buckle. Yeah, and with a tracing going, but the animosity never really exists to an extent between the two groups, because the political ideology was basically the same. But you see, when we get into 1976 now, and the PNP government was re-elected in 1976. By 77, 78, the PNP government made a declaration, and this declaration would split the island politically forever. The PNP declared themselves to be now democratic socialists. So this is the first time now in the Jamaican political history now the population will ever have to be engaging with this term and concept of socialism. The PNP didn't call themselves a socialist outright. They say that they were still democratic, because that's what everybody was familiar with. So they call themselves democratic socialists. And so for the first time in the history of Jamaican politics, the JLP and the PNP were saying two different things. The PNP, in declaring itself democratic socialist, aligned itself now with socialist policies, aligned itself with the Soviet Union, aligned itself with Cuba. The JLP, coming from the tradition that they knew, remained steadfast to the capitalist model of economic progression or development, or whatever you want to call it, of their economics. So the country now for the first time had a split in choice. It was a split that was equivalent to one country defending Eastern political ideology and the next country defending the West. So on this little island here, by the 1977, it became the ground for a major war, a proxy war. In the same way in today's world, we hear about a proxy war being fought in Yemen and Syria. A proxy war was being arranged right here on Jamaica Island, simply by the declaration of the PNP to become democratic socialists. The forces of Washington opposed that ideology. Washington, the United States, and they began to put the pressure on the island economy. The island was filled with CIA agents in that period. And the guns now, the gun violence got extreme. And at that time in the 70s, the guns were brought into the country primarily by the politicians. The politicians were 99% responsible for the bringing in of guns to arm local black youths, to fight for red, fight for orange, and to fight for green, and to fight for socialism, and to fight against capitalism. And so there was a major war in Jamaica, people. A major war, 1978, 79, right into 1980. That state of emergency, was so political that opposition members were arrested and put in jail, all kind of things. The thing really get out of hand. People start escape from Jamaica. Migration, exodus begin. Money start leave. So in that escape, in 2018, in reflecting on that state of emergency, we have to come to some consensus early that behind the political violence and the gun violence of the 1970s that brought forth state of emergency, the main agents for supplying ammunition were the politicians. Things have changed a bit, but they must be held responsible from that time. And we're going to trace them behavior till this time. Metamorphosis.
Clifford Guest House, sponsor of Metamorphosis on Monday nights from 9 p.m. to 12 midnight with Dr. Iman Blak. Located at 15 Queen Street, Port Antonio, that's Titchfield Hill, they offer accommodations for up to 1 month. Call them at 285-0610 for more information.
Do you have or are you seeking a place to rent, seeking employment or have a job vacancy? Are you selling a car or having a garage sale? Then come see us. Let Styles do the advertising for you and you'll be on your way in no time. Contact us at 876-286-9216 or 439-5160. Advertising Style. Advertise with Styles.
Remember Styles FM on social media. View us on YouTube, Styles FM Radio. Follow us on Instagram at Styles FM. Like us on Twitter at Styles FM 961. Become a fan on Facebook, Styles FM 96.1.
Start your foundation with the #1 block factory and hardware supplier in Portland, DIB Block Factory and Hardware Supplies Limited. They have large stocks of high-quality construction and hardware supplies. From electrical, plumbing, painting supplies, and building materials, DIB Block Factory and Hardware Supplies has you covered. Visit any of their locations in St. Margaret's Bay, Port Antonio, or Buff Bay. Call 993-4415 or 913-3530 or email DIB_block@yahoo.com. DIB Block Factory and Hardware Supplies Limited. Your foundation starts with them.
Are you thinking of a place, extraordinary place where you can get a wide variety of Jamaican cuisine, scrumptious local dishes, and at the most affordable price? Zilla's Kitchen has the widest menu to suit your appetite and lifestyle. We're located at Bridge Street, Port Antonio. Place your order for pickup or delivery service. Call us at 453-6030. That's 453-6030. Zilla's Kitchen, the restaurant of choice. We never close. We never close.
The peace in high has slowly fade away. No more will I cry, now that my eyes are dry. I've been beaten and robbed of my rights and my loved ones. My bones have grown so tough, no guns or bombs can tear I apart. My eyes get so red from anger and wrath. They lock I away, oh, they'll throw I in jail. Sata high, Sata high, sata high. Sata high, sata high. Smoke it in their eyes. Sata high, sata high. Eyes get so red from hunger and wrath. They lock eye away. Oh, they'll throw I in jail. They say I smoke ganja. Some say I smoke Cali weed. But how much do they know what that ganja does for I?
Yeah, long time Rastaman I talk about the powers of ganja, what it does for I and I. Now the whole Roman Empire roping in on it. And they colonize the ganja now, telling us now about the virtues of medicinal ganja. Well, I and I, brethren, coming to the junction, and we had a reasoning that had concluded that does a smoke screen. When them have us pursuing medical ganja, a smoke screen. Because money rests in industrialization of the hemp. And I have not heard anybody at all make any mention and any reference of how to bring forward a few pieces of equipment, how to set up a small hemp farm, how to have a model farm where paper can be made and cloth and real money can come into man's hands. That's a bigger incentive to get the youth off of the streets and put on the guns than to chase them with bigger guns. So the industrialization of hemp is part of the liberation of Jamaica from violence and economic degradation. But the government forces are not into that. It's very obvious that those who are put to lead are really bleeding. Our leaders are really bleeders. And there's great focus now behind medicinal ganja. It does not benefit the black majority population who are disenfranchised and still don't own any land and don't own any property, who are just land tenants. It's industry black people want in the country, not service. We don't want to be giving service continuously. We want to own industry. But that's another reason altogether. But that is part of the deficiency of the leadership. So this leadership that Jamaica has granted unto itself from 1962, these guys always feel as though they are bright. And none of them bright ideas come because they go to the University of the West Indies, which is a part of the whole system of generating oppression. Because what the people in Jamaica feel, is oppression. That's why we do so much bandoogling and I look blind all the while, because the situation here is oppressive. So the violence that we're feeling now that is generating this type of oppression amongst people, and people fear to come home, and when people come home as residents, there's no protection, there's lawlessness. It's something that has been generated and bred by those who are in the leadership. It has not been coming from the bottom up. It has been coming from the top down. And in the same period now of this major state of emergency in 1976, 77, 78, is a genesis, of enough things. One of the things that these animals breed and bred into the society was the garrison. They are the ones who create the whole idea of a garrison. That it has become normalized in Jamaica. When a man takes or a woman takes she lives in the garrison, certain conduct and behavior is just given. And those who are in the government know that garrisons exist, because garrisons hold the key to their voting. So this is part of the destruction now that has reached Jamaica, the well-thinking population of Jamaica. We are surrounded in certain areas with garrisons. And garrisons have been built by the politicians. And the garrisons were funded and armed by the politicians. And this started, as I'm showing to them now, from the 70s. And in Kingston and St. Andrew, where the thing was centralized, nobody ever thought about go Montego Bay with if you have to go state. Montego Bay known for it said Montego Bay full of B-man. Yeah, that's what the Montego Bay's title. No concept of violence and a gunman there, Montego Bay. It's just B-man on tourism, hotel. Nobody will ever think about a state of emergency needed in Clarendon, Westmoreland, in the late 1970s, 80s. That is inconceivable. Because them places are country and them places are bush. And a gunman now go to them place there. It was localized in Kingston and St. Andrew. And when they examine the garrison thing even further now, you find that each of the political parties them established for them central base. One in Tivoli and one in Arney Gardens. So them legalized garrisons. These are the same men now who are run up and down, say they want divine intervention. And cussing one another now when each of them have been in power and both of them have had to call upon a state of emergency to handle their own creation that has now become a destruction to the society. So the garrison construct, what was set up in the 1970s and took root in a place like Tivoli Gardens, that it took the United States government to disrupt the empire that Tivoli had become. Tivoli had become a state inside the state of Jamaica, controlled by what Americans call criminal elements, because Jamaica people don't want to identify the man them as criminal elements. And these garrisons were able to sustain themselves, running alongside the politicians. That you have a dynasty in a place like Tivoli. Jim Brown and family would have run Tivoli. This is an island called Jamaica, you know, with an elected government. We would have another government running a different thing in Tivoli Gardens. Tivoli Gardens, the sound would have drive fear in a people's heart around the country. All the man takes them go from Tivoli and you start panic. Because the government itself couldn't even send its forces into Tivoli. Agencies couldn't collect water. Light bill can't collect in those places. Those places had them, what them call them, one order. Them had their own court system, them had own justice system. So the island is under sort of kidnapping long time. And those who were in charge always knew, but they have done nothing about it because them benefiting from it, time come to vote. So we see now that what is going on in 2018 is not something that just crop up because of scamming. Don't let them fool you. It's the seeds that them plant coming round in full blast. And it's the innocent people feeling it because what's happening now, a lot of people never born when the thing will farm up. A lot of the people who feeling the effects of it now wasn't around 1976 and 77 and 1980. So it's the young folks now, the teenagers, them now get caught up in this thing. Our schoolers. And they are the ones now who are feeling the wrath of gunshots. In the 70s it was big man. Big man was bad man. And bad man them time was the gunman. In 2018 now, it's not really bad man, but everybody is a gunman. So we are going to trace the journey and see if we can find some solutions along the road. Okay, those make sense to just talk about these things, because we're feeling it. But we want to call out who is responsible. That collectively, they must begin to work towards it rather than pointing out who have a plan versus who never have a plan. One was in power for 20 odd years and couldn't have a plan. Now them have a 10-point plan. And the other one was in opposition. They had a plan. Now them in office. Now the thing gone higher. So the people now who are dying, who can't afford to finance themselves in the hospitals when them get traumatized, I have to begin to take us different stock at the whole thing. It takes the leader of the opposition and the Prime Minister and Governor General to kick off a state of emergency with agreement with the army. So no party can initiate state of emergency by themselves necessarily. They might forget the support of the GG. So when we look at the reasoning for these events and the attempt to quell gang violence and the attempt to quell violence generally, we have to check out where the people have been forced to live, their conditions. So there is no party to date that has given a commitment to dismantle the garrisons. That's a part of the solution. We have to dismantle the garrison. And if you dismantle the garrison, the people who live there them conditions of life will have to be addressed. Because there will be no more handouts. How are these people going to feed themselves now without handout from these politicians? Serious social engineering is required if there's any way of trying to resolve what's happening in Jamaica. So, we will examine now, again, the fact that both parties set up their own garrison. The PNP have them Arnett Garrison Stronghold and the JLP have them Tivoli. And around the island now, each of them try to have them own little thing. But the thing about the violence is that it was concentrated in Kingston and St. Andrew. It did not a country safe. You can go to any parish outside of Kingston and St. Andrew and literally escape violence. But something has happened. Something serious happened over the last 10 to 20 years. How is it that the violence now has left Kingston and St. Andrew and has been relocated at the opposite end of the island? How did that move and how nobody never noticed when it was moving? And how nobody never tried to interfere and interrupt with that movement? Is it that those who govern just are unable? And is it that we're moving to a state where in the military will have to have more presence and hence end up making decisions for the population? We're in a serious time. And what we need is overstanding. Is that more brute force? We have to see how the thing generate and we have to call out those who are responsible and run away those who can't help. Because I was going to ask public, what can the GG do to help Jamaica? Nothing. What can the Governor General do to quell violence? Nothing. But we finance him with our taxpayers' money. That's an office that it should be absolved. That is a redundant office using money that could be paying teachers and police. So the thing we want to shake up from the top down. We hear them talking about bringing back Adams to match violence with violence. What a thing. Metamorphosis.
DJCast.com.
analysis rolling on, going through the whole historical status to see why we're at 2018. That period is very crucial, from 1976 to 1983, thereabout. Very, very vital part of Jamaican history. And to me, undocumented and unexplored and unexamined. Because with the declaration of democratic socialism by the PNP and a clear separation from itself from the JLP, the island had this great dichotomy. Families split, friendships split, everything just split. It became the basis of a great war in Jamaica. Climax in the 1980s election, October 1930. Almost 1,000 people were killed. So from 1980, we've had them type of death tolls within a year. But it was a special year because it was a violent political year. When the then Prime Minister declared elections from February, and announcing in February that elections would be in October, and unleash the carnage. The two tribes rip up each other, and Jamaican blood run. Yeah man, Jamaican blood run under SLR and AK, Russia versus America, and we were the pawns, and we just kill one another. All in the name of the politicians. You see it? Them a feed the fuel. Them a put fuel in the fire, adding guns and giving youths guns and ammunition. Youths who couldn't afford even a bread or a lunch. Nothing much has changed, I try to show them it's the same guys them in leadership. Same leadership content here, and we want to know why we can't have a different Jamaica. So these guys now who set up themselves as political leaders and divide the country into orange and green, set up the tribal war. And in their ideology now, here is the difference. Here is where them done up Jamaica now, You see them man who turn the politicians. Them start not only swear allegiance to Her Majesty, but the most dangerous line them man they draw up on Jamaica that has kept us in a barbaric state is when the man them declare that them a defend them party first. Now, I don't hear anybody in Jamaica criticize and lick against them, and demand that them change that argument, Because party first is the most divisive attitude that each group can take. Party first. When people hear Donald Trump say America first, we know say it's a coded language when he really say white people first. And I understand that. But saying American first is something that all respectable nationalists would say. The Chinaman said China first. In Jamaica, and I want to take heed, I want to check on the local MP and all the guys who get elected, In Jamaica, I've never ever heard any politician declare Jamaica first. So that meditation now held by the leaders will always keep the party's business ahead of the nation's business. And everybody seems to agree with that. Nobody chastise the politicians and tell them so them can't win national elections and defend them party first. That's why the country can't move at a certain level. So the leadership don't have no collective will to move the nation because them groom themselves for protect them party first. Donald Trump, as much as him syncopathic and all them have mental illnesses, you never hear him say Republicans first. You never hear him say Democrats first. When Obama was president, you never hear him call the party first. It's always Americans first. Why is it we can't pull that simple line out of the American political structure? And it's a global thing. When the French president wins, he never says the left first or the right first. He says France. So from the 1970s, when this separation in the parties set up, those men start groom the population to think not about Jamaica first, but about the party first. And this training is highly organized at the highest level of learning, the University of the West Indies. At tertiary level, this ideology now is being perpetuated. Because when your sons and daughters leave high school and go to university, and they get what you call the privilege of living on campus, they also pay a very serious price. And that price for living on the campus is a thing called ragging, where you're terrorized until you surrender your name and take a little idiot nickname. And more significantly now, you are channeled into certain halls. And these halls now, whether you know it or not, are at the foundation of two of the political parties. At the foundation of the PNP is Taylor Hall. And at the foundation of the JLP is Chancellor Hall. And when you go into university and you start get inside the culture of these halls, you realize that the students who are part of these halls, they will die trying to represent the hall, but they will not represent UWI. So they'll have a skewed vision of the whole concept of the whole picture. Them don't see UE, because them say at one time UE not do nothing for them. But the hall give them accommodations, the hall give them food. When them get injured, at the hall take care of them. So the youth them develop an allegiance and a commitment to the hall, not to the university as a whole. That is the same mentality that operates in the garrison. When the youth in the garrison have no commitment to Jamaica, them have it to the party that financing and supporting the garrison in which them live. Is the politician set up these mental matrix? And the society falls in it. And so when we're seeing violence being promulgated through the society, none of these tribal political groups can stop it because they are at the center of it. And somehow they are benefiting from the disarray in the society, you know. And you check it out. Western Jamaica, presently, under state of emergency, but the tourist trade being protected. It's not the local citizens, the concern is about saving their lives, you know. It's about saving the lives of the people who them think the economy depend upon, which is a white man, the tourists. So the government system is still colonial and still dependent to that extremity. So we have to see what I go on and see if the state of emergency that is being held in St. James, if it really making any sense, because as we speak, the gunman them gone from St. James and they move into St. Elizabeth and Westmoreland now. And I hear that the chase is on. The chase should have continued after them got out Dudos. Right? That is where the chase should have begun, because the man them leave Tivoli Gardens and go into St. Catherine. And there was no pursuit by the forces that govern. Eventually the man them go to Clarendon. And the man them moved on to St. Elizabeth and Westmoreland. And it becomes open territory when the man them go into the west. No more ghettos to hide behind, no more zinc fence, open territory. Man can have a big house now. And you integrate now with the tourist trade and the scammers. And the thing just gone out of hand. And here we have now fingers pointing and the firing commissioner of police stepping down. And the this going on and the calling that and all of that, not bringing any solution because the guns are still coming through the ports. So Jamaica is in a serious situation now. And the solution does not rest in the behavior of the politicians. So who will rise up to present itself as leadership to these two tribes? Is it that we are locked into these tribes forever? Or is there going to be a groundswell of consciousness that will present a Jamaican perspective based upon the fact that we are majority African people? It's a revolution that is needed in the thinking of the population. Our youths are now victims of the internet age, where we have adults who can't talk to youths anymore. Dysfunction setting in, becoming normal. Politicians calling upon the preachers, and the preachers calling upon divine intervention, and nothing happening. What is the solution? We're thinking.
Jah preserve my soul, and not tell me send the half I've never been to a wall. Jah preserve my soul.
The lines will be open very shortly. 4531444. If you have something to say and you want to punch in your ideas, this is the time. Metamorphosis is open lines now for listeners and thinkers alike. How do we move from here? Hail up D. So it's 453 1444. And the overseas number 954-338-7973 if you're calling outside of Jamrock. 954-338-7973. And if you're in and around the Portland area or in Jamaica and you want to WhatsApp or text, 453-1444. Looking at the state of emergency. What's the next step? We're going to speak a little bit about the Grammy from Black Uhuru till now. And the whole idea of, is it that the Mali have a monopoly, or is that the Jamaican population lack the penetration into the Grammy Awards, into the Academy itself? Can we just stay on the outside and criticize, or should we get on the inside and become voters? Very important that we know what is the way forward. So Metamorphosis, Styles FM. We want the politicians to say Jamaica first. Can we force them to say Jamaica first? Can we start a movement? Hashtag Jamaica first. Can we absolve the office of the Governor General and all the trappings? The millions and millions of dollars to provide transportation and elevator and service for him and his wife and whatever. What is the value of that to Jamaica? When the teachers and the policemen want money so we can... Teachers should no longer have to be selling things in the staff room, you know. Shouldn't have no more clothes shop in the staff room. Teachers women should have to run into Miami and those places to buy things to come back and sell when the school term starts. And therefore they're not focusing on teaching, but it's on hustling. Policemen, the same thing. Have to be putting taxi on the road and running robots against the man who really out there. The whole heap of disturbances caused in the society. And we have to arrest them and we have to address them. Metamorphosis. Lines are open.
Them never know say Rastafari never teach us no wrongs. Them never know say Rastafari I protect we all along. No matter if it rain or shine, right on time I him a guide we all the while.
You know many times on the road of life, many people get caught in doing the wrong things. And they always wind up saying, the devil is so strong, but they're fooling their minds.
Yeah, the Jamaican political history is crucial that we get a distant perspective rather than one that's based upon whether you're orange or green. And you need to know now that when the thing was moving from socialism to capitalism from 1979 into the 80s, we are coming from a period where there was a organized hoarding of things and there was a hardship brought onto the country by outside forces. And when them get them away, the next day, saw fish in the shop. Next day, food in the shop. Enough spoiled food come out, but it didn't matter because the merchants them were holding tight. They were unwilling to go along with Michael Manley and his socialist plan because they were under the fear that socialism is one step away from communism. And they were under the fear that Jamaica was becoming like Cuba and this kind of propaganda. But significantly, 1980 brought to power Edward Seaga. And Edward Seaga now is the architect of Tivoli Gardens. And Tivoli Gardens now obviously became the foundation for this state of government inside the government, run by the Jim Brown and the family. All of this under the watch of the government. And the government means opposition and those who are the proposition in the leadership. So the country had to endure Seaga. And in 1983, he called a snap election. The Michael Manley government said about him now about a contest, called whatever. And Seaga was returned to power in 1983. Still insisting on working with the IMF, working with the Paris Club, working with all these international agencies, create all them parallel market business, the money rising and falling, the US currency, double parallel market system, all kinds of things going on in the country. Confusion. And within the next 5 years, the people get tired of the whole thing and decided to vote out the JLP. And then voting by the PNP. And this time when the PNP returned to power sometime towards the end of the 1980s, they didn't come back with them democratic socialism ideology. Remember I tell you them now, you know. So that ideology just split the country asunder from the late 1970s. And when Michael Manley come back to office, him decides, say, no, him not about going on a socialism thing. Him go with what everybody go with. Because globalization and capitalism is the way forward. So the PNP and the JLP became one now in ideology. By 1990, there is no difference in the ideology of the PNP and the JLP because they have both accepted globalization. Both accept that capital must and private industry must drive the sectors. Both of them agree to the same thing. So we have a one-party state from that time. One state saying the same thing. But because we inherit this British thing and we have these two forces called opposition, they pretend to be opposing each other. It's a fake event, you know. Their opposition is a fake event. It's not real. Because at the real level, all of them is family and friends. All of them drink together. The children go to the same school. But them fool the population that they're in opposition and trying to claim that each side is defending I and I out in the streets. When nothing don't go so. Not a thing don't go so. And it's that awakening now Jamaican people need. That none of these groups are in support of the people in general. So by 1990, we enter the internet age. We enter the age of globalization. There's no more socialism to contest with capitalism. Everybody now turn capitalists. Everybody know two parties tell you say the private sector must be driving force. No difference. But the population don't see that they're both the same, you know, because them are promote orange and one are promote green. So we have that period of the 1990s where the violence kind of subsided a little kind of way because the drugs money start become a feature within our society. Man start get money now from drugs. And also man start buy them own gun now with drugs money. So there's another layer now of ammunition, armament coming into the country. Moving up beyond the politician. Because from the 60s and the 70s, and even into the 80s, the politician was the main provider of weapons. By the time we get into the 90s, man buy them own gun now. 1990s. Society is still hostile. There is violence. But a significant thing happened in 94, 98. The world of sports and the reggae boys. For the first time, the tribalism were able to bring it to almost a complete standstill. That great divide that was keeping the society at war by the politicians, the sportsmen, then broke it down. The football broke it down. Because when the reggae boys qualified for France in 1998, for the first time the politicians were powerless. The people had the power. And the politicians had to come off of them folly division. And for the first time, MPs from one side could walk into the constitution of other MPs. That's all them had the place locked up one time. Them themselves couldn't go into them compadres' constituency. But the football was able to break down the political divide, break down the social divisions, and show the black people in Jamaica. Everybody saw us at Jamaica. Everybody saw us at Jamaica. Man saw hug up Jamaica flag. Man saw hug up Rastafarian flag. And so for the first time, the nation saw that the real patriots of Jamaica is not the politicians. The patriots are our sportsmen and women. These are the Jamaican patriots who will die for Jamaica on the playfield or on the track. None of these politicians would die for Jamaica. If you get that serious, them take up them foot and gone to Miami with them green card. Because most of these people have a 1 foot in Jamaica and 1 foot out. It is our sportsmen and our athletes who are the true committed patriots to Jamaica. And these same politicians are the ones now who try to cream off the glory when these men and women bring glory to the island. The politicians bring no glory to the island. Them bring in violence, mayhem, And they are the seed of the gun violence in Jamaica. I come through the junction early this evening and I asked my brethren, where is it that they're going to fix with the money that they was fighting for the by-election? Him said, same road with the pan. Nothing has happened. There's going to be another by-election now, and they're going to come up with another plan and promise with money again, and nothing is going to happen. When are the Jamaican people going to realize that the black people that they are being duped? It's because them think so black people stupid, you know, why them behaving like this. And I must begin to embrace intelligence. Embrace intelligence, embrace consciousness, and embrace culture. These are the forces that we can unite and organize to challenge these guys. Because 2018 never just start the way it is. It's about history coming through. And it's the same two parties are the caretakers that have been overseeing these things in our island. So we have to stop. Serious thing, and have to check. And is it just a matter of scammers, or is it something that is systemic? Is it systemic? And is it that until those who are in governance feel personally threatened, they will not do the right things? We don't want to come to that, because we want to keep Jamaica land we love. But the love of Jamaica is being fast disappearing. And it's been replaced by hatred and violence and grudgefulness. We had the last election where the Prime Minister of this time, his house became a controversy. All them little things they show you, the maturity, the immaturity, and the amateurism is killing us in Jamaica. And we're tired. And we say the leadership thing now. The leadership thing, we need some groundation. We need more community reasonings, a consensus from the base, that those who are in government realize, say, look, the first thing we're going to do is move the Governor General. If we move the Governor General, the politicians can no longer hide, because they hide behind the Governor General, who represents Her Majesty, and who they both serve. Jamaican people, we have to move that office. It is obsolete. It's obsolete. That will be the beginning of a change. Take care of the politicians for a while. Load them. Load them. Make a zero in for the GG. Metamorphosis.
Hello, Dr. Black.
Eli.
Good night.
Yes,
Good night.
it is.
I am listening to your program.
Uh-huh.
And I think you are hitting the nail on the head.
Ouch.
With a whole heap of serious force driving it in to the wood. I think everything that you have said is exactly as it is. I am calling from Atlanta.
Okay.
And I just want to say that to start out, to make this statement that by the look of things, and I hope you'll agree with me, there's going to be a state of emergency in about 3 to 5 years from now again, based on the sequence, right?
Yes.
Because as you have said, the underlying statement that you are making is that the real problem is not being addressed. The real problem of oppression, the real problem of social change, where the Jamaican people are uplifted and brought into the fore, become a part
of mainstream.
Yes,
yes,
it's not happening.
Not at all.
In other words, what we have basically, and I know a lot of people don't like when I say these things, you can see them just wrinkle up, is that one of the things we do best is we manufacture household helpers and gardeners.
Okay.
We make sure that a good percentage of our society turn into household helpers and gardeners.
Servants.
Right? And that is all we do. We just make sure, say, we have somebody to wash our clothes and cook our food. We don't care about nothing as long as we drive a BMW and we where you want to call it and carry on and go to Miami and New York and live big and drive Mercedes-Benz in the middle of the separation and the misery.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And this has been going on since the days of colonialism,
Of
right
course.
till now.
Right
Nothing
till now.
changed. So
Yes.
it's not change.
Not
Never
change in that
change.
area. Yeah.
Eh?
Yes.
And that's something you feel.
Yeah, man. The man feeling based upon reality, you know? And maybe what we want is more people to begin to feel that feeling now, you know?
And I think you're coming through loud and clear. And I hope as part of the discussion, because this state of emergency, like the ones before and the ones that are to come.
To come, yes.
Will not solve anything. We need to sit down and step back, even if the country as a whole have to take one step backward to move forward.
Yes.
That's what we have
That's
to do.
what we
We
need
have
to do.
Stop thinking, this selfish mentality.
Yeah.
Nobody no want to wait for nobody. Everybody want to get in front of everybody.
I tell you.
You see how people drive, you see how people act.
Attitudes.
When you talk to somebody sometime, them not interested in the way I said. Them no want to hear what I said.
Yes.
All of this need to stop, I believe, and we need to recheck.
Yeah, man.
But I appreciate everything you're saying.
All right, we give thanks for the link. So
Yes.
what that your name?
Yeah, man.
So that name?
Ken is the name.
Ken?
Yes.
All right, and you're coming out of Atlanta?
Yes.
All right.
Definitely out of Atlanta.
All right,
Yes.
just stay well and heal up all the Atlantans and the people in Georgia generally.
Yes.
And Jamaican people out there, stay in touch because I'm going to come help make the transformation. Just know that. All right.
All right, good night.
As is.
That's the far right. And I saw.
There's the inside coming with the information coming in on the WhatsApp. Virgin say, Buster man take call, state of emergency in Carroll against. It really was a response to Rastaman, what they call the Carroll Gardens massacre. When Buster said, kill them, shoot them first, shoot first, ask questions later. That is the extent of the brutality. And then, of course, Siaga in 1980, Bruce Golding in 2010, and we have one here now in 2018. People now are recognizing the sequence of events that we are experiencing under these state of emergencies, and it really, really matters not which one of the tribes in the proposition seat. In order to get the state of emergency, there must be an agreement between both the Prime Minister and the leader of the opposition, with the Governor General being the man who sign off, because that's how the army going to get a chance to get involved. So these are the powers that reign, and the people at the ground now feeling the wrath of this violence. So 1980s through the 90s, and as I was saying earlier, 1994, 98 was a period of the awakening because of the reggae boys, brought out something that Jamaican people never knew existed, that we could really live and actually demonstrate love for each other and respect. Unheard of, you know. It frightened the political directorate. It frightened them out of them wits. Because them things that we are so deeply divided because of their shenanigans that nothing could ever pull us together. But look what sports did. It pulled Rastafari out of the corners. When the players themselves have on a red, green and gold handband, and you see Rastaman's flag starting in the stadium more than the Jamaica flag. It frightened the political directorate. Yeah, man, it drives fear in them because it is a sign of the power when the people are united around cultural identities, cultural events. Because it's a political event send us, and a religious event send us as war, you know. It's a politics and a religion send us in a different division. That even during the Reggae Boys era, Pentecost and Methodist and Baptist never really matter. Our Reggae Boys are on the place. And there was a pride about being black. Not just Jamaican now. It was about a pride of being black. Because the rest of the world view Jamaica as a black population. We were able to arouse the lineage and the heritage of Jamaican people all in Iceland. Everybody knows that claim some of the blood of the Jamaican and African people. The politicians get bummy when them say that. Because if they had tried to sustain that unity, they would have lost for them power base. And I can give an example to show you that the man them decides that them not going to sustain it. Because look at it now. After Jamaica reached that highest level of self-awareness and self-confidence, a small island on a big stage of 32 world-class playing football nations, Reggae Boys in France, Reggae reach France, Jimmy Cliff show up in France, Marley Dede, food start sell, the culture start get exposure to a different level. You the things that the politicians them now feeling good about that would have come in and say, yeah, you know something? Make a build another stadium somewhere else where the Reggae Boys can really play. Not all long up, nothing happened for football since the Reggae Boys. Nothing by the government. Absolutely nothing. But all they do is take the accolades. Yeah, and travel around the place now with people giving them credit for being the government of Jamaica, not knowing that they are disconnected from the people who really represent the heart and soul of the country. It happened again when Bolt got to Beijing and said, show dominance. No, not no bill for athletics. You think it's a joke me I make? Not no bill for athletics. As even a reward to the population for pulling up themselves by them bootstraps. All the men will travel up and down the place. Travel around with the program and introducing and meeting this and meeting teams and numbing up the food and them neck get big and them waist get wide and there's nothing happening for the population to change them consciousness, to alleviate the illiteracy, to upgrade reasoning power, that we have less ignorance in our conversation. So we have to look upon the man them who call leaders. And what is it they are trying to do? What is it them trying to maintain? Why is it for the last 40 years we have had 6 states of emergency? And what happened every time the emergency over? We just settle down to prepare for another emergency. And in the meantime, the roads can't fix. Nothing in the hospitals in terms of equipment. Teachers are just there because they need to work and there's nothing else to do. The university students are trying to get a green card. Nobody wants to stay in Jamaica. And those who are the leaders are satisfied with that. Because I get the feeling that they're secretly trying to encourage everybody to leave. Yeah, the best talent must leave. Because in a for them mind now, because them can't generate no industry to bring money in the country. Their plan is to send out the human resource. And human resource will send back remittance. So they start factor remittance now in them budget. They don't factor in investment, into institutions like entertainment and sports. To stop them nonsense that go on the Norman Man Airport Road, where you have an entertainment event and people lose them work in America because the road block up and plane can't fly out, all kind of foolishness. No investment in infrastructure for sports and entertainment, which is what we use to bring culture together and unite Jamaican people. The politicians look at them, have a certain agenda against development through sports. Them use the sports to promote their own agenda, but they don't want to develop the country through sports. They talk about tourism and tourism. Where's the link between tourism and sports? Where is sports tourism? That's why you can have a place like Carter Park turn into a goat pasture. People, when I come to Jamaica, Carter Park was the best football field in the island. It had a better surface than the National Stadium. More important, people know that who just born with it, you know. And see what the leadership around here doing, how them running down the parish by holding down the infrastructure. Carter Park, the best venue in the island. And between all the presidents them who leave the association here and going to JFF and come out of JFF, Carter Park is a cow pasture. Cow pasture. And they must beat up them chests and talk about what they did when they were in office. And nothing can be shown because there's nothing sustained. So you see, Jamaica Island was suffering from a thing called amateur egoism. Yeah, amateur egoism. I wanted to mention about Phoenix Club and Leon Bailey and how his father take himself from Jamaica because of the amateur grudgefulness that in the mind of those who govern sports here. Amateur and grudgeful. And you have to be a professional in Jamaica. You have to take away yourself literally. You have to take away yourself if you want to be a professional at anything. Because the culture is driven by amateurism. And we see it in the governance. Amateurism. No accountability. No recording. Man say a thing and you feel this way. It's backyard, it's banana republic kind of behavior that. And in the 21st century, in 2018, to make a call in a state of emergency in Montego Bay. In 1976, 78, Montego Bay you probably couldn't find a gun in a Montego Bay. How did the man them get from Tivoli headquarters to the extent where in the headquarters now is no, Kingston St. Andrew now is ignored. People don't remember say violence going on in a town anymore. The way the thing has shifted dramatically under the watch of the political leadership and the silence of the church. Who is responsible? That we want to find out.
Planning a party, club night out, stage show, a gospel concert, or even a business sales event? Let Styles FM be a part of your promoting tool. Take advantage of our low-priced promotion packages with commercials, interviews, giveaways, reviews, and much more. We have special offers when you mix and match and bundle your options. Contact us at 876-286-9216 or 439-5160. Styles FM for the most effective way to exploit your marketing dollar.
Are you thinking of a place, extraordinary place where you can get a wide variety of Jamaican cuisine, scrumptious local dishes, and at the most affordable price? Zilla's Kitchen has the widest menu to suit your appetite and lifestyle. We're located at Bridge Street, Port Antonio. Place your order for pickup or delivery service. Call us at 453-6030. That's 453-6030. Zilla's Kitchen, the restaurant of choice. We never close.
We ending up Zilla's and thanking Zilla for the support to keep the metamorphosis rolling. Because we need that type of energy and we still need more support. So if you feel that you can make an input, yeah man, Metamorphosis will be glad to accept your support in terms of sponsorship, and Styles FM would be able to breathe a little bit easier. So we're healing up Zilla and we're healing up the activity that goes on upstairs, the restaurant itself. Yeah, excitement upstairs, not saying much more.
D-Plug Bar and Restaurant, Main Street, Long Bay, Portland. Proud sponsor of Euphoria. Tuesdays 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. with the musical and genius Digital T.
Clifford Guest House, sponsor of Metamorphosis on Monday nights from 9 p.m. to 12 midnight with Dr. Iman Blak. Located at 15 Queen Street, Port Antonio, that's Titchfield Hill, they offer accommodations for up to 1 month. Call them at 285-0610 for more information.
Some virgin who says his name is Ricardo Hoffman. He's an organic farmer coming out of Hector's River. Hector's River is East Portland. He'll up all the people in that ends. He'll up Amira and Yaya and that community of conscious brains that is in Eastern Portland, Long Road, etc. So this virgin saying is an organic farmer in Hector's River. I'm saying we can start first of all by uniting as African people. It's a very serious start. The man has gone to the concept of identity. Can we agree on our identities and begin to have that as a common start? He has also suggested also that him start a movement called the VYP, Voice of the Youth's Production. Acronym of the VYP. And the initiative of this is to get the youths to be more serious about their talents and their dreams. To get them to see that it is possible that their visions can be realized. So, in other words, now, I think if I and I are going to begin to talk about solutions, solutions have to come from, let me say, if the head of the stream dirty, them say the bottom of the stream is dirty too. So them say, yeah, obviously you must clean up the head. But I am of a view that it has to be happening. You have to do something in a simultaneous way. You have to be cleaning from the head down. You have to be cleaning from the bottom up. And you meet some point in the middle where everybody from the top down clean and from the bottom up is clean. So I'm on, because of my research and methodology used to do my doctoral work, research could not be done simply from top down. It had to also be done from bottom up. And I think the healing and the curing also requires a bottom up approach. So we can always look out upon the illiteracy and ignorance of those who we put as leaders and bleeders. But what is the responsibility of the individual? What is the Jamaican individual responsibility now to himself and the community? And what is his role now? What is the contribution being made to the corruption by the individual in this population? So the cry in Jamaica now is that it's corruption. The politicians are corrupted. Men of government, the leadership are corrupted. But I said to the eye now, and I was reasoning with this my brethren yesterday, you know. He said, boy, the leadership corrupted and police force corrupted and everybody corrupted. Someone said, then what about the citizens? Would you say the citizens in Jamaica are corrupted? They said, no. Well, I ask you now. You in your house and you want an item down the road to buy. And you have a car park outside, you know. And you just go in the car and just drive down the road. Because it's nowhere, you know. It's like a less than 2 minutes drive. So guess what happened? You might take up the documents, you know. You didn't dress yourself properly because you just go around the supermarket and come back. And guess what happened? He said, by the time you drive out of your yard, the police that. Policeman stop you. All right. So I'm sure you say, you must have things and take a sack. I'm sure you say, I'm going to get a ticket for something where you don't have. I must say $5,000 ticket. And you say to yourself, but officer, we really can't afford that, you know. And you did a sad plea and you plea and them tell you, say, boy, really. No, if you talk and them say, go on. Is that corruption? Would you say that is a corruption act or you get it with a blie? Eh? And is a blie no something that contributes now to corruption? Because Jamaica now, I call Jamaica a blie country, you know. Yeah, man, because you have to get enough blie on it because of the oppression. Certain things will reach you where you just can't manage. And sometimes those who must inflict the punishment know so you can't manage. So it's either a let off or a let off. Yeah. So that now by itself now begins to breed a certain type of corruption or indiscipline. So we have to ask the question now, is it that the individual, the society, the individuals here are basically indisciplined as individuals? And what causes that? Because when the same individual now go to North America, him fall in line instantly. Because him look like the odd man out now when you don't fall in line. And in Jamaica, if you do the right thing, you look like the odd person out because you do the right thing. So there's something about the environment, something that permeates the atmosphere here in Jamaica that support this feeling of lawlessness, where you can ride a bicycle on a one-way street a different way, and it don't matter. The policeman on the bicycle ride crisscross the road, and it don't matter. So we have this vibration of within ourselves as individuals that no law can stop with, because guess what happened now? The environment here is so oppressive. It is so oppressive that you're almost in a constant state of rebellion. That is a rebellion against what's working for you. So how we address that? We have to look into our institutions. And the first institution in any society, as far as we know, is the family. We can talk about the state, we can talk about the church, we can talk about the media, we can talk about all the various other institutions, but this is the primary one now, is the family. And this is where Jamaica has gone wrong. Because as I said to the island, from the first emergency in 77, 78, the island population has been going through some splintering because of the orange and green. Brothers fighting against brother because sisters against father, fathers against mothers because one say orange and one say green. So here we are today now, in 2018. And we have a situation now where we talk about family. It almost don't exist at a certain level of our population. In the poorer classes, and in the classes where the economics is low, the family system get a serious beating. We have a population now where most of the males, a lot of the males who are not involved in institutions are incarcerated. And the males who are in institutions, they are preparing themselves to leave the country when they finish with them studies. So what is really left here? When a 15-year-old girl has a child, when she reaches 30, the child is 15. The same man look at the two of them. So the breakdown in Jamaican society now, it needs a serious addressing. It needs addressing. The children that we're calling children and abandoning them as vipers. We have to rope them in and develop reasoning. Develop communication.
Yeah.
Metamorphosis.
Yes.
Yeah.
Dr. Black.
Yes, sir.
I don't want to crowd the program, but I offer some criticism earlier. I want to offer some solution.
Great.
A solution.
Great.
Right? No, the first thing I want to say, and again, I hope you'll agree with me, what we have is a very complex problem. So there's no one solution.
Of course not.
This was brought up very clearly the other evening at an event. By the way, hosted partially by Taurus Riley himself at the UWI. It was clear that everybody have a good idea. But what I want to say is that as far as solutions are concerned, right, we need to do something big and broad that will be transformative. That is at a higher level. In other words, we need all the small social and psychological solutions, some of which you have mentioned.
Yeah.
But we need to do something big that will move us forward.
Right, okay.
And I think a lot of...
Go ahead, something grand.
Yes.
Yeah.
And now, I know this idea is a little bit difficult for a lot of people to grasp, and I've tried to present it to a lot of people, and they just kind of look all in different directions. But what it is one of the things that I think has hampered Jamaica over the years, and I can use it, I can almost track a lot of the problems that we have in Jamaica back to it, is when the trains stop running.
Okay, transportation system change.
The train.
Yes. So tell us.
Now what the train.
Yeah. Tell us
what the train did was it.
Yeah. Tell us how you see the relationship between the train stop running and where we are.
All right. Simple. There are 22 stops, I think, major stops between Kingston and Montego Bay, including Kingston and Montego Bay, and every stop in between was source of life and
business.
Family and growth in Jamaica.
Yeah.
And except for Kingston and Montego Bay, the whole of them in the middle dead.
Okay.
Because the train stopped running.
Okay.
Right? So everybody run come at Kingston or run go to Montego Bay.
All right.
I'm speaking broadly.
Yeah, man, I hear you.
And as a result, and if you have family, anybody who have family in any one of them places like Catadoop or Ipswich or Cambridge or any of them places, will relate to what I'm saying. No life no exists for them places anymore. If you don't believe me, try drive up one of them places.
No, I don't believe you. What you're saying just kind of makes sense, you know?
So essentially what I'm saying is that what we need to do is put the train back on track. And what it will do is it will indirectly solve many problems. It will create a lot of jobs. And it will reinforce some of the standards and values that we used to have as Jamaican people.
Hear you, my brother.
Family will come back together.
I hear you.
Because people who have to leave them like a village, them like a district, up in the hills, to go to Kingston, go scam.
Yeah.
Or hustle.
Why them
and even if they leave every morning to go work,
they can get home. Yes.
And the Sandals plantation.
Yes.
Right? Even if they have to go work on the Sandals plantation every day, they can go back home when night come.
You know, sir.
They don't have to set up a little hut on the outskirts of Montego Bay. They don't have no means to, because they don't have no means to get back home.
Right. And that is beginning. That also, I'm just saying, it could be the beginning of these unplanned communities now, you know.
Unplanned community, the beginning of the crime and the violence.
Yes, yeah.
And this is what we see being manifested over the years.
Yes.
Put the train back on track between Kingston and Montego Bay, right?
Yeah.
In a decent, structured manner,
yeah.
and you will put life back into the middle of Jamaica and everybody want to run go to Kingston and Montego Bay.
Well, guess what happened now?
Simple proposal.
Guess what happened now? Is it because I talking to you from Port Antonio? We want a train line from Port Antonio to town too?
Of course.
Yes.
That would be the greatest joy because
yes.
that line.
Yeah.
You can't tell some people say that line that did exist. I'm all laugh of them and say like that.
True.
And that would connect that part of Jamaica with the rest of Jamaica properly.
Yeah. We hear you.
Anyway, like I said, I don't want to take up your time, and there's so much I could say.
Well, you know,
I'm just going to leave it there.
You just keep in touch.
Yes.
Yes, I give thanks.
All right, give thanks.
All right. Yeah, the Virgin making some valid points how the island has people have been disconnected because of the transportation system now. You have to go up on the road. And the roads now in Portland don't allow you to go anywhere on the roads anyway. So an important part of the reconnection will be the transport system. When I came in, the trains were running until Hurricane Allen come and everything stopped. But it's an important thing that we begin to look into solution. Now, as a man who have an affinity towards sports, I always turn to sports as a part of the solution. And I think if we were to really put sport at the center of the economy, not tourism, sports at the center of the economy, we would have the interest of nearly all of the youths. And how do we organize sports to be at the center of the economy now? Say, each parish could have a stadium. We could have an island-wide building construction program going across the island, putting up stadiums in each parish. Unleash the labor force, the construction force. Cooperation between the JDF and the private sector and the government. And get the youth them involved in building. So we begin to build mini stadiums across the island. That now gives us the infrastructure for our youth who are going to participate in sports. Because I remember now, we need an industry to attract our youths. And everybody, and the way the Jamaica organized, there is not space enough for people to get into the civil and the political and the business world. But you see, the world of sports, it is wide open. Wide open. And we show world-class talent every time we are organized properly. There was a time when Jamaican runners could never reach the standard of Olympics unless they went to the United States and trained. Went to the college level. And 1 and 2 and 3 man had the vision to set up a training camp in Jamaica to train our athletes here. Now we have foreigners coming here to train with us at UTEC and with the Racers Club. So we have a model, The model is our sports. But because the society is classist, and at a certain level racist, them discriminate against sportsmen and sports persons. Because most of these persons are coming from the ghettos and coming from the lower strata of society. And they are showing the power to transform themselves into individuals who are wealthy, who can support them families and them community. So part of my proposition towards resurrecting this nation and the youths in it is to have a more concentrated attitude and development strategies around sports and entertainment. We can produce world-class athletes in everything, and if they're not performers, they can be part of the industries that are attached to sports. There's sports medicine. There's nutrition. There's sports agency. I know a youth man right now, coming right out of Harborview. He's now a sports agent for international football. His name is Damani Ralph. Damani went to St. George's. Damani paid for the Reggae Boys. Damani is now a professional agent in football. So the potential to transform our youth, to get their minds away from idle things, is a focus on the talent. And the talent is cultural. The talent expresses itself in artistic ways or in true sports. So why is it schools and institutions are not giving youths who have sporting talent a better opportunity to express themselves? Nobody identified Bolt. Bolt picked up himself and found an excellent coach. And everybody in the world now owns Bolt and claiming Bolt. And you know what Bolt did recently? Bolt responded with the humanity and the consciousness that is required. Bolt donate $1 million to the rebuilding of the burnt out home for the children in Kingston. So we have the examples of our people can exploit sports and bring the returns forward into the society. No politician do those things. There's no politician going to take up his money and contribute to no thing just so, unless he wastes some vote behind it. Both are looking at the vote. The man demonstrating his humanitarian side, the side that we need to see more of in Jamaica. So, solutions, may I tell you I them. So it begins with focusing on the family and at the school level, high school. What is it a youth goes there for? Does he have a sense of purpose? And if we capture and recapture the imagination of our youths by giving them programs that bring out their best out of them, the country have a chance. We have a chance. Because we are still a very young population. But when we talk about families, we have to talk about relationship between male and female. How the boys calling themselves dog. And the devaluation of the psychological makeup of an individual. So we can't spend time a beat pan politician, you know. Because when you go in a car and driving and throw the rubbish out through the window, it's not the politician cause that. When you take the scandal bag and throw it in certain areas rather than pack up the rubbish, it's not the politician cause that. But the politician is part of it. Because he doesn't do what he has to do to make the environment in such a way that you yourself will be penalized if you do certain type of behavior. Because the laws of the country are only enforced and backed up by those who have the capital. So it seems. So we have searched for solutions as to identify the problems. And as the Virgin said, this will not be the last state of emergency. And the way the country moves is like, we need a state of emergency in every parish, which is not really possible. So where is it the chase is going to be finished? When is it we're going to back up and going to have the final shootout? Because the man, they're moving from St. James into Westmoreland now and into St. Elizabeth. Is it that them coming back to town? Where is going to be the grand showdown? Metamorphosis. The Virgin who said, give me the bike, give me the food. When you come from out of Golden Grove there, I know when you put your name, Virgin. Put your name, no man. Yeah, you can't call yourself about the same guy. After you know the guy. Give me your name, man. Yeah. But I like the idea that one man gave us that the first thing we have to do is find our identity and begin to unite around that. And our identity is not Jamaican. That is our nationality. Our identity is written by our racial makeup. And when we go to that level now, we are African people. Yeah, we don't bother talk about who brown and who light skin. It's African people. When we reach this now, you know, and we start talking about family, we're going to talk about the Trinity in the African family. Because the African family system has been invaded, you know. It has been all set off balance by the Europeans. African family system was a very stable structure because it was built upon the principle of the extended family. Father, mother, uncle, sister, brother, all within reach. So a child who growing would not grow by themselves. The child would be a product of the entire community or the village. So the African family system, we have to resurrect that if we want to save ourselves. And the family system now is what we had before the Europeans met us. And it kept us very stable, kept the children under control. It kept them on a certain level of discipline. Because even if the mother and the father were absent, the other adults would be the source of authority and discipline. So auntie would take over, uncle and brother and cousin. So there was a moral order within the structure. When the Europeans rush away and invade we and take away from ourselves, then put us in a system that them call a family system that is defined by a term, nuclear. And this nuclear family system that they put us in now, just what the word suggests, very explosive, very unstable. It can blow up any moment, and it usually does. Because the nuclear family system now based upon two people, a mother and a father, it's based upon having two children, and it's based upon having a cat and a dog as pet. And that becomes the network of the European family system. Mother, father, brother, sister, and cat and dog. And as African people do, we never have dog as part of our family, you know. We don't know no animal and no puss and them thing in our family, you know. We never have that, you know. We had people in our family and puss and dog live out a street and live out a road. The European culture bring the dog in the house, in the car, and in the bed. So this nuclear family system that they impose upon us now is very unstable. Because when one parent dies or gets ill, the whole thing come under pressure. Because one parent have a hard time maintaining the family. So we have to return now to the African extended family system. And what it means also is that our families have to be grounded in the principle of the Trinity. And when we talk about the Trinity now, it's not the European Christian Trinity with a man, a woman, and a ghost. We're talking about the Trinity that shows us the Father, the Mother, and the child. We have to reclaim that concept of our families before we can start rebuild it. We have to exercise the ghosts out of the African family system and return the female into the system. And in the African family system, the woman is not a add-on by accident. The woman is supreme. Yeah, the woman is supreme. And the man does not feel inferior because he knows his role. And she knows her role. She also realizes the role of other women in helping to grow children, and therefore doesn't really try to possess the man for sex only. In this Western world now, and this Western family system, them telling the African man who is naturally polygamous that he must be a monogamist. He must have this one wife and he must live with her till she die. And that goes against the nature of the African, who is polygamous in his nature. But we could not confuse polygamy now with a man that have enough woman. Because enough woman don't mean that the man have enough money. But if a man is polygamous, the first factor to define that is his wealth. He must have the capital. Where he can build a home for his wives and they can have their own residence. And I want to hear him with 4 or 5 women living in one house and there's one man. That is a harem Arabian movie business. So part of our solution is to reconfigure what we call family. That we can resurrect respect now and authority between the parents and the children. What we have going on in Jamaica today now, is an absence of family. We have picnic with baby mothers. Yeah, we have baby mothers with them picnics, but without having father, mother, and child. And what the Europeans have done is reinforce the disruption of African family by taking out the mother and inserting a Holy Ghost. So you imagine now the black family in the Western world have a ghost in the family. Yeah, the ghost become the host. Within the African family, until we exercise that ghost, we don't have no power over our own selves. The man himself has no power in the relationship because our power now is given to the ghost. Our power now is given to the Son of God. And the man has been diminished to nothing. So psychologically, of a reconfigure ourselves, the male African have to stop seeing himself as this concept of the European where him is the dominant and the woman can't talk. And it's him one, not go so. We are not opposites as we are taught. Male and female is not opposite. We are complementary beings and need each other. What we have now is women who say them don't need a man. All them want is so them say I call the man them sperm donor. You know, see, they not call themselves sperm receptacles, you know. Sperm donors, I'm calling the man. And insist that them alone can bring up the child. So we have these women now who depending on the medication and the money and trying to grow male children. So the thing lean up bad. And the politician can't solve this aspect. Him can feed into it, but him can transform the people that kind of way. We as the people have come to knowledge about who I and I is. And as a brethren who come through on the WhatsApp say, one of the first things we have to do is identify ourselves racially. Because on this island, all other groups have done it. The Chinaman unite racially. The Syrian, the Jew religiously. The white man racially. The African must begin to see himself along the lines of race. So when a youth move towards a woman or a woman move towards a youth to form a relation, they have to see themselves as Africans coming together. It can't be a dog going to meet a bitch. That's no creation. That's destruction. And we point it out. And when I look to the politician for certain solution, we're looking to ourselves. The man who claims that them is baby fathers. Your fathers who are, these are fathers who are babies. They're not mature. We need mature parents in today's world. Mature parents who don't give the picnic everything they ask for because them claim them never get it. Give them what them need, not what you never get. Give to them what they need. What them need is the basics first. Shelter, medicine, clothing, food, education. And so we can begin to turn it around. Long time we're down in the valley, you know. But we're not staying there. We'll make a move.
Clifford Guest House, sponsor of Metamorphosis on Monday nights from 9 p.m. to 12 midnight with Dr. Iman Blak. Located at 15 Queen Street, Port Antonio, that's Ditchfield Hill, they offer accommodations for up to 1 month. Call them at 285-0610 for more information.
Are you thinking of a place, extraordinary place where you can get a wide variety of Jamaican cuisine, scrumptious local dishes, and at the most affordable price? Zilla's Kitchen has the widest menu to suit your appetite and lifestyle. We're located at Bridge Street, Port Antonio. Place your order for pickup or delivery service. Call us at 453-6030. That's 453-6030. Zilla's Kitchen, the restaurant of choice. We never close. We never close.
Remember Styles FM on social media. View us on YouTube, Styles FM Radio. Follow us on Instagram at Styles FM. Like us on Twitter at Styles FM 961. Become a fan on Facebook. Styles FM 96.1.
The Entertainment Edge, on the cutting edge of entertainment, every Saturday 12 noon on Smooth Sailing. If your program is not on the edge, then it's not on the cutting edge of entertainment. News, reviews, interviews, hit songs, and so much more. The Entertainment Edge, telling you all about entertainment on Styles FM with your host, Shelly Watson. Hey, it's Entertainment Edge on the cutting edge of entertainment.
Guess what? Styles FM has a new business number for you to call, text, and now WhatsApp. 518-2399. To advertise your business and events, call, text, or WhatsApp us on
518-2399. 518-2399.
Don't forget 518-2399.
Planning a party, club night out, stage show, a gospel concert, or even a business sales event? Let Styles FM be a part of your promoting tool. Take advantage of our low-priced promotion packages with commercials, interviews, giveaways, reviews, and much more. We have special offers when you mix and match and bundle your options. Contact us at 876-286-9216 or 439-5160. Styles
There are ones who think that maybe legislation need to be put in place where every citizen have the right to bear arms. Does that sound extreme? Yeah, where every citizen have a right to bear arms, now where you level the play field. After a while, yeah, everybody have a gun, so a man don't just rush your house just suddenly, all of a sudden, you know, because you know you have something in there. And a man can't just come thief a gun because you have one, because everybody have one. So at some point in time, it will level off. There are those who think say we need to bring back the death penalty. It's already on the books. Why is it not being enforced? There's the church. People have called upon the church. to come forward and help to heal the nation, but the church is calling upon more blood. Because the church is calling now for the blood of Jesus. When the blood of the Africans are running in the streets of the communities of Jamaica. So the blood of Jesus can stop the blood of the Jamaican people from leaking out into the streets. We want to stop the flow of blood. We want to stop the blood flow. And it's not an easy task. Because this generation of youths now, they have a sense of what they call hopelessness. So hope, how do we give the youths hope? Part of it, is what I call lack of land that gives you a sense of ownership. Most of the population in Jamaica don't own the land. We are tenants. So there's no real commitment to the land if you don't own it. Part of this problem is in a town like Port Antonio, where there are certain forces that hold the land as owners and refuse to let people who are tenants become owners. And people will not invest in things that they don't own. So I could think about the psychology now of land ownership in Jamaica. The church owns vast amount of property. The government owns property. And the rich men own property. Where is the land for the people who are the descendants of the emancipated people? These populations are still being called squatters after 400 years of slave labor. We have people here who are called squatters. So your people can't have no love for the country. How are we going to call the place Jamaica land we love when I don't even have a place that I can call my own? So we have to make some adjustments in the policies for people to feel committed now to the land. There's no commitment to Jamaica because primarily we don't own the land. We don't own it. So these are policies that have to change from the very top. We say people must change them ways and attitudes at the base, but the change is also required at the top. Top down and bottom up. So if we were to give people that sense of ownership, that empowerment, less people think about run go foreign, People more think about how to take things from foreign and build upon the land that them have here. So we have to depopulate the urban center. We have to depopulate the urban centers and get the whole Jamaica functioning again. The leadership, the leadership is a very crucial thing. And the lack of leadership is showing. But the institutions in which the leaders are problematic unto themselves. The institutions themselves. We have an education system where it retires you at 60. So people who have active minds between 60 and 70 and 75 have nowhere to contribute them time. Yeah, nowhere to contribute them time. Society call you retired. And you're on your own. And the best of luck in your own endeavors and all this kind of thing. So we're not harnessing our resources properly. We're encouraging our young to migrate, and we're shutting off our people at 60, telling them that so that them old. And in between that, we have politicians who give themselves a raise, who finance themselves, and we have teachers and policemen who scrape in. And yet, we expect them to provide service with quality. So one of the things we have to demand that the politicians, all them take a pay cut. We put some pressure on them. The whole must take a pay cut. Yeah, man, if teachers and firemen and everybody holding strand for 5 years, they must take a pay cut. And it won't affect them, because them living off perks. The fat one, trim off. It's in a very serious way. And how is it done? Through knowledge first. And people organize at the ground level. And I'm saying in a place like Portland, there should be a serious demonstration against those who keep Carter Park as a cow pasture. Carter Park should be the center of economic development in this region. Carter Park, a center of entertainment and sports. It's because Carter Park don't function why no Dakota Cup can't come this region, That's why the Dakota Cup final can't come to Eastern Jamaica. because there is no real venue in Eastern Jamaica to hold the Costa Cup final. And so those who control the game tell us it's a venue them protecting because it's the money they want. And for the last 20 to 30 years, nobody between St. Anne's and St. Thomas. Well, St. Thomas have tried, and St. Anne's has tried. But where the infrastructure is already semi-built and in place, which is Portland, nothing don't go on. And yet Portland produce administrators that go to JFF. And nothing happens in Portland. So you see, it's a colonial vibration. The leadership here is colonial. Whether they're in a sports, or whether they're in a government, or in a church, or in a school. It's a colonial mentality. And that mentality now deals with oppression. Yeah, oppressing groups of people who don't fit the status that they think that they should be in. This may be going off the track a bit, but you see in the 1970s, as much as the football brought us to a unity in 1998, in the 70s, Rastaman were highly visible and competent and active in the world of football in Jamaica in the 70s. And by the 80s, Rastaman get phased out. Yeah, in a serious way too. There was a team in Jamaica called the House of Dreadlocks. Pure Rastaman. Enough you, man, do you know so them team used to exist? With the best players in the country, in the carpet era, as Rastaman in the team. And the JFF and CASAFA fight out the Rastaman them. Because of cultural differences, yet the man them represent the country. And you look in the Reggae Boys program today, you're not going to find no youth who can say Rasta. Rasta youths are almost a rarity now, and the process begins from the high school. So it's a colonial meditation that governs Jamaica. And as much as we were granted independence, it is a colonial mentality that took over the society, and today we are suffering from it. The colonial mind who doesn't respect the power of the African. And the African now who doesn't respect himself falls into the trap and becomes violent against himself. We have to heal ourselves first. We have to get rid of the politicians after. And Adam tell the society that him only needs 6 months to stop the killing because him can kill them out more than how them can kill out the people. You ever hear anything like that? Jamaica land we love. Yeah, blood a run. But don't be distressed. It's galvanizing at the grassroots. And when the people outside of the country call themselves diasporans, realize they have a role to play in transforming these little Mickey Mouse leaders and get professionals to run our institutions. Too much friend business in our important institutions. We want professionals. Professionalism is what will move Jamaica, from the state that is in. Professionalism. And that's what's seriously lacking in Jamaica, in every institution. between male and female step up. Less disrespect, more listening. Yeah, stop ignoring children. Stop leaving them on them iPhone, on them smartphone. Make them develop the smarts and then bring. Yeah, Yellow Bridge and you know all the other people in the Canadian set up. Toronto, Montreal, wherever you are. Which is the land would always belong to the country. But in a Jamaican situation now, the land don't belong to the country. Because the country now is still under colonial rule. The land is still controlled in Jamaica by the church and the state and the rich people. So I don't know how when the land going to reach to the level where we can say the people of the country own the land. People of the country are 95% African people, you know. 95% of the people of this land is African people. And that 95% don't own much of the land. So we are landless after slaving in the land for over 200 years. Still landless. And God came and told us that land is the basis of power. It's land make you get rid of the landlord, you know, and the rent man, you know. It's land make you beat that spear, you know. That you can rest comfortably on the burden every 3 weeks to find the rent money. It's land. And it's land allows you to plant some things on it that you can feed yourself. So all our population now pack up in the corporate area, on top of one another, hiding behind zinc fence. And the rest of the island is out there. And that's where we have to encourage our population to do. Retrieve the land. Capture land. We could capture land in the rural areas. We could capture land because it can't be captured. We can claim it. We claim the land, man. Because look here. All kind of alien people coming to Jamaica to buy the land, you know. All kind of look at European groups. Come spend 3 weeks and then you see them buy a house, turn the house into one guest house, start bringing for them friend, cut off the Jamaican people from support them, and then before you know it, them control the community. And they are protected because their skin are white. They hide behind their white skin and we bow down to the white skin so we protect them. No tourists are afraid in the Jamaica. None afraid. Them go anywhere as white people. We the black people can't go everywhere. And we have to address that. Seriously in Jamaica. Oh, I can't go certain places as a black man, but a white man can go anywhere. And him poor in his pocket, but him skin white. That is the impact of racism as a system where it gives the impression that the skin that is white is superior. All them things that we have overcome, you know, to claim Jamaica as a black nation. Never heard the cry yet. We're hiding behind this concept of being a Christian nation. But with the level of violence, if this is what Christianity is all about, we have to think differently. Yeah, man, if this is what Christianity is about, as a Christian nation, then we need to change that old modus of operandi and have to abandon this Christian thing because we're not getting any prosperity. It's blood around. And more blood around. And those who defend Christianity crying for more blood. They want the blood of Jesus mixed up with the blood of the Africans. It's pure suffering. And the politicians bring out the guns and the army and it's brutality on the people. No, we have to reverse that curse. We have to reverse the curse. And it begins with a transformation inside the individual. Each eye, after awakening itself out of the slumber, and cling to identity, and look at your brother and your sister in the face in the morning and realize, it's I and I, black people, going through the same thing. Yeah, man. It's self-consciousness, self-awareness. There's no other way at the moment until we can begin to build economics. But build identity first. Build self-confidence. Build the right attitude to communicate. There's enough things of unwork, but it's worth it. Because the other result is destruction. So with all of this violence and mix-up going on in Jamaica now, after really zeroing on Rastafari and the role, how is Rastafari involved in this confusion on this island? Long time Rastafari declared that they're not willing to join any of those two tribes, because none of those two tribal groups are the interests of African people. And that remains so still today. That none of those PNP and JLP groups of people have any interest in the survival and the development of Rastafari. Rastafari becomes a threat literally to these two parties. Because what Rastafari has been teaching and promoting is about black unity. It's about presenting the teachings of His Imperial Majesty along with the philosophy and opinions of Marcus Messiah Garvey. And when you twin those two forces together, you have a liberating theology and a liberating philosophy. So the Rastaman has brought forward a position from them times, from even before the state of emergency started calling in Jamaica in the 70s. Rastaman always telling about the importance of ital living, of nutrition that is natural, and was always ridiculed and scorned by the same status quo. Now everybody trying to live and eat the way Rastaman been eating and living in the early 60s. Enough man who's Rasta now eating like pork eaters. So enough things are in reverse. And the Rastaman of today have to begin to make a different statement within this whole confusion. And what is obviously painfully missing in the Jamaican setup is sources of income. Economics, they call it. Glaringly absent, leading to a hustling society, hustling mentality. No long-term thinking anymore. Short-term, or you can get our money quick. Or you can eat our food. Man start walk around with them belly and them on. Man start think with them belly. Well, I also to them now that out of all of this, Rastaman used to tell you, say, the herb is for the healing of the nation. Yeah, just try and recall that phraseology, The herb is for the healing of the nation. And there was a time when people think the healing of the nation applies simply to the smoking of the herb. That in the smoking of the herb, you get a type of meditation that would lead to a certain type of healing. First within yourself, and then of course extend outwards to the brethren and sisters and family and community. And hopefully it will extend to what we call the nation. But the healing that we need now is not something that will come through smoking. The healing of the nation from herb now will come when we begin to think about the real economic benefit of herb. And we have to look into the whole family of the plants called cannabis sativa. And when we look to the family, we see that we have members in the family who look like one another in terms of how the leaf look. So there's a brother and there's a cousin that look alike in the hemp family, cannabis family. One is called ganja, one is called hemp. And they look alike because they have the same family. They're in the cannabis family. And what is happening today is that the society now who used to fight against ganja and give man 18 months of prison for a spliff tail, 18 months in prison for a ganja seed, destroying black families and children, separating them from their parents because of a ganja seed and a spliff. The same forces now telling you that you have to become licensed to create and make medical products. That is a deception. And I said to them now, part of the liberation of our youth and our economy is to look not on ganja as a healing, but look upon the hemp. And we're talking about economic liberation now, economic healing. The politicians will never talk about this because it will break you away from depending upon them for handouts. And hemp is the key to our liberation. And I say it and will always say it. It's hemp factories we want in Jamaica, hemp factories. Because the link really is moving from agriculture to industry. And Jamaica established from the 1600s as an agricultural producing society. Banana, sugarcane, agricultural products for export. So we are skilled at farming, skilled at first level industry. But the transition we must make now is from first to second level industry. And the second level of industry is manufacturing. What do we manufacture from the hemp? And until we start manufacture from hemp, we're going to remain in poverty. We're going to remain tied to IMF and World Bank and all of these alien organizations that tell us how much we can pay our workers and hold our society ransom. Hemp is the key. We want some of the musicians them and the entertainer them put some money together and finance a small hemp factory. Concentrate on cloth. So we can have some hemp cloth, more than pure, the other type of cloth. And get economics. Get the youth from the inner cities now to come and work on these farms. Farms can be in the city, the farms can be in the country. It takes 3 months for a crop of hemp to grow. And the products are 2,500 products. Why we don't have anybody in the government or the Ministry of Industry establishing a pilot project for hemp? Hemp has no THC property. You can't get high off of hemp. We can only get rich. Yeah, we can get rich from hemp. Make us think rich. Make us think hemp. Metamorphosis.
For complete auto repairs and services, come to Akon Auto Technology, located at 33 Bumble Crescent, Port Antonio, Jamaica. We offer specialist services in wheel alignment and wheel balancing, brake drum and disc rotary servicing, state-of-the-art ultrasonic cleaning and testing of your fuel injectors. We also stock an assorted range of auto service parts, tires, and motorcraft batteries. If we don't have it, we will source it for you. Call us at 876-715-5205 or email akonautotech16@gmail.com. Akon Auto Technology, beyond the typical auto mechanic shop.
It's Wow Factor Tuesdays with Chungy and Shelly. Every Tuesday from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. It's entertainment and interaction at its best. With features like the Share to Care segment, the Uprising 10 Countdown, and the ever-controversial Love Break. Yes, it's the Wow Factor. Your Tuesday mornings will never be the same again.
Do you have or are you seeking a place to rent, seeking employment or have a job vacancy? Are you selling a car or having a garage sale? Then come see us. Let Styles do the advertising for you and you'll be on your way in no time. Contact us at 876-286-9216 or 439-5160. Advertising Style. Advertise with Styles.
Are you sick of living an average life and tired of just getting by? Do you want to take your life to the next level? Learn the secrets of the super successful. Listen to Power in a Half Hour with Coach Mark this and every Wednesday night on Styles FM from 9 to 10 p.m. Learn the habits of the super successful and how to make these habits work for you. Learn to turn your dreams and desires into reality. You can win in the game of life. Let Coach Mark show you how. Every Wednesday night on Styles FM from 9 to 10 p.m.
Are you thinking of a place, extraordinary place where you can get a wide variety of Jamaican cuisine, scrumptious local dishes, and at the most affordable price? Zilla's Kitchen has the widest menu to suit your appetite and lifestyle. We're located at Bridge Street, Port Antonio. Place your order for pickup or delivery service. Call us at 453-6030. That's 453-6030. Zilla's Kitchen, the restaurant of choice. We never close. We never close.
Clifford Guest House, sponsor of Metamorphosis on Monday nights from 9 p.m. to 12 midnight with Dr. Iman Blak. Located at 15 Queen Street, Port Antonio, that's Ditchfield Hill, they offer accommodations for up to 1 month. Call them
going through the paces and the stages and we're into the final 20 minutes of the experience. And there's a WhatsApp message here coming in from a Virgin who say he grew up in Canada and he left Jamaica as a youngster. And one of his teachers them decided say they might go off of the curriculum and teach the youth them about black culture. The person said it was very eye-opening. So even though the school system was Eurocentric, all the teachers need to do is to develop them Afrocentric consciousness. So all you need are teachers who are Afrocentric to teach the value of black skin. Yeah. All we need are teachers who are Afrocentric to teach the value of the black skin. So we can blame the system, but some have the power to make the changes. So here we have a suggestion to how within the institution of education we can work towards bringing the change that we need in the attitude and the consciousness. The teachers need to study Marcus Garvey. I say all the while. The Jamaican Teachers College, all of them should have a curriculum that involves the philosophy and opinions of Marcus Garvey. So when these teachers leave Teachers College and go to the high schools, they already embrace the philosophy of black culture. Instead, we have teachers going to the school condemning Marcus Garvey as thief and telling students how Marcus Garvey is ugly. So they perpetuate the colonial vibrations through the education system. So I am suggesting that, and I've been saying all the while, that part of the site that needs adjustment is the teachers' colleges in Jamaica. Sam Sharp, teachers' colleges, I'm sure them don't teach them nothing about Sam Sharp. Pastor guys in teachers' college, them don't know nothing about nanny. So these teachers' college should be heavily based upon culture to transform the knowledge into the students at an early age. But if the teachers don't know it, them can't pass it on. If them love up European-centered ideas and embrace Jesus and the Christian philosophy, is that our pick they're going to get? And in most schools in Jamaica, every morning before school starts, them sing to Jesus. Yeah, every morning, them sing to Jesus. They don't sing to Marcus Garvey and respect the teachings of Africans. They don't teach the children about Dr. Francis Cresswell or Dr. Ben Cannon. That is not taught. So the education system, we say, have a serious overhauling to go on with. The Ministry of Culture in Jamaica is not a ministry of African culture. It can't identify itself as which culture is dominant here. So we're headless as it appears to culture. So the problem, as the Virgin said earlier, is a multifaceted problem. And so the solutions are multifaceted. So there's one concept of a state of emergency. As my Virgin said yesterday, when the soldiers go into the community in a state of emergency, there should be an army of people in street clothes, follow them, who are social workers. That they don't have any uniform or nothing. They don't even look military, but they come to do social work. They come to talk to the mothers who have 3-4 children who can't find the baby father. The ones who hide in the criminals because them depend upon the little handouts from these gunmen and gunwomen. So enough of the adjustment must make true consciousness. And I'm going to say something about development through economics now. Because economics is the key now. The socialists weren't told that money had to finance them programs. Socialism always spoke about the state taking control and the state providing this and the state providing that, but the state never tell them that they have to find a way to make the money too. So enough of the socialist programs collapse because they run out of money. All ideas were good. Free education to that, free medicine, all those are good ideas. But ideas have to be financed. One of the things that we can focus on in Jamaica as an event, our set of activities to bring development at the same time bring economic employment. I'm thinking so every parish in Jamaica should have a dam. Every parish should have a dam. So that should be an international campaign. Since we get money from foreign, that should be a campaign where we can set our local people to work. Building stadia and building dams. Parish like Portland should be leading the way with water collection. Portland should be able to export water rather than experience droughts. So if we build stadiums in every parish and build a dam in every parish, we have employment and activity. And it returns to the society because now we're saving ourselves enough problems when we have our own droughts. The office of the police commissioner is like a room for rent thing now. When one run in, one run out. And we've been changing police commissioners left, right, and center. I said to the item now, each confederation needs a commissioner. Yeah, we have 4 confederations. Each of them need a commissioner of police. So Western Confederation need a commissioner of police to deal with St. James right round to Westmoreland and including St. Elizabeth. Each confederation, St. Elizabeth to St. Catherine, have a commissioner of police. Kingston and St. Andrew and the Northeast. And then we have a national commissioner who these 4 commissioners have to report to. But no one man anymore can commission and police the whole of Jamaica. Jamaica get too complicated. There are several Jamaicas here. So we have to decentralize the Westminster model to get a different level of governance on this island. Yeah, the politicians have to realize that. Them can't stay in the Kingston and run this island anymore. So regional governments, I'm supporting that and proposing that consistently. We already have regional offices for education and for nursing. We need a regional office for the security forces. Rather than have a state of emergency in every parish, each confederation should have a very strong police military site that will respond to crime and violence in the confederation. We have to reconfigure Jamaica to match the times we're living in. Kingston and St. Andrew can't stay and direct state of emergencies in St. James. And then when the man move to St. Elizabeth, they move it to St. Elizabeth. And at the same time now, Kingston just kick up a nanny town there around Jake's Road, and it's just not feasible anymore in the 21st century. So it's a rethinking, a reorganization of governance where regions begin to get a level of autonomy. We maybe even need a police force specific for each confederation. Yeah, man, Jamaica can't run the way it run from the days of Morgan the Pirate. Too much technology. Population has increased. It's much more youthful now. I even get to understand that we have more deportees returning to the island than we have returning residents. Yeah, more deportees. And when a deportee comes to Jamaica, he comes home with his clothes on his back and nothing else. Who supports these people? How do they maintain themselves? Serious issues we have to resolve. And when those come home legally, after their hard life in a foreign countries, they are brutally, manhandled. No security, no protection by the state. We have to address these things. State of emergency can't solve or begin to address our issues. Clarity and no confusion by those tribes, but we can see clearly. And the first thing we want to see clearly is the eye that is within. We have to clear up the fog within the eye and recognize the eye is grounded in a heritage that is way beyond the shores of Jamaica, that goes way before Port Royal, that takes us into a homeland, that gives us a historical culture and a history. We have to draw upon that to rebuild ourselves in the present. Metamorphosis. Yeah, we need more Afrocentric thinking people in Jamaica. Afrocentric thinking. We need the people in the church, religious leaders, to let go of the Eurocentric concept of life and begin to move quietly to that Afrocentric center. Same thing with the teachers in the school. We have to claim Africa and claim that centeredness and teach our children from an Afrocentric perspective. And we understand what Europe is saying and what China and the other nations are saying. They have their center. But to be Eurocentric in an African body, schizophrenia we are talking about.
Because I've been foolish, but I still made it through it. Now I'm better.
Yeah, man, want stadiums built across the island. Yeah, man, small ones in each parish and a major one in each confederation. We want dams built in each parish. Kingston and St. Andrew have a dam for the last 45 years, and the population increased 100%. We have to work and insist that those who want to lead commit themselves to these type of tasks or run them out. And think of different ways of regrouping. Eastern Jamaica, Northeast, need to have its own autonomy. Kingston and St. Andrew is two parishes that became one. So St. Thomas and Portland can also unite. Think about twinning the parishes. St. Mary and St. Anne's. One parish. Yeah, we have to work towards reconfiguring and set Jamaica the way, not the way it was in the 1960s. Everything different. So if we were to unite St. Thomas and Portland, that has a couple of come on as a quick. A premier team would rise up quickly in this region and to give the people the kind of thing that they need to keep them going. This region deserves a Premier League team. 4 big parishes like this, and you can't generate one team to play in the Red Stripe Premier League. You know, so there's slackness that. And it's not because of a lack of talent at the player level. There's a lack of leadership. Selfishness by those who get into office calling themselves governors of the sport and come with them classism and fighting ghetto youths who have them talent, trying to show through athletics and cricket and football. Them things of a broke down. So there's a whole heap of things if we want to think about living here in this land that we say we love. Yeah, we have to do the things.
You know it's the Doghouse Productions, and now we're making introduction to the world. Well, you said the wicked one, them can't bear if you see me face, and you said the bad mind one, them end up in a very bad state. At a fire when me bunny pound them, they all got eradicated. Ragamuffin, no boy can't bounce no food out of you we play. Want them, can't bear if see me face, and you see the bad mind want them end up in a very bad state. At a fire, yes, me bunny pound them, they all got eradicated. Ragamuffin, the boy can't bounce no food out of every place.
We are suffering from a thing in Jamaica that wasn't so prevalent in the 70s and the 80s. But it had blossomed in the 90s and the 2000s. It's called bad mind. And it has become second nature for people to use that word. Like how they use the word stress. A man book him to him say that stress that. So this bad mind thing now, I've been listening to it from about the 90s coming through to the 2000s. And everything now is being justified or being explained out by bad mind. But you see, we need to examine this concept of bad mind and see what it really is. And then I look at the sister was reasoning about bad mind and just telling me some people bad minded and who bad minded. I'm saying to her, I'm saying, you bad minded too. She said, no, I'm not bad minded. And I went about to show her that she's suffering from bad mindedness because I hear up and know. Bad minded is not one thing, you know. I am saying bad minded have 7 elements to it, 7 strands to bad mindedness. And if you are a Christian Bible person, it is explained in the Bible what these 7 things are. They call it deadly sins. And the Oriental Chinaman recognizes also these 7 elements. He doesn't call them sins. He said these are the 7 poisons. And I tried to show the sister that she was being affected by the poison. But because we hide behind this one term called bad mind, we're ignoring the specifics that make it up. And the Bible calls them the 7 deadly sins. All of you are into Christianity and the Bible, go look up what the 7 deadly sins are. And if you embrace any one of those aspects of the 7 deadly sins, you're suffering from bad mind. And the first element of the bad mind construct is jealousy. First element is jealousy. Then you have envy. Then we have greed. And we have slothfulness. They are all outlined, the 7 deadly sins. So you see, if you greedy, but you're not envious and grudgeful, you're still bad-minded. You see, if you're jealous, but you're not envious, and you're not the other things, then you're still bad-minded. So we have to check the thing then we're embracing. And we're holding on to a philosophy that tells us that jealousy is okay. Because the God that they give us to worship is a jealous God. You see the problem now? If the God that you worship is jealous, then you yourself are going to embrace jealousy and think it normal. And that's the beginning of the deadly sins. That's the start of bad-mindedness. And it will graduate from jealousy now to envy. So jealousy now is that, like you see somebody with something, and you wish you had that too. Okay. So you're feeling jealous that them have it and you don't have it. But then it progresses from jealousy now to envy, wherein not only them have where you can't get, no, you don't even want them get it. Yeah, you move from just admiring what them have and wish you're having it to trying to prevent them from getting it. To the point where sometimes you don't even need a thing and you're preventing that. It's grudgefulness, envy, wrath, slothfulness. So examine yourself. Examine yourself. And if you embrace any of those strands, you too suffering from bad-mindedness. And the music and the diction and everything now in Jamaica is all about bad mind. A generalization. Yeah, man, you're bad-minded. When the person who's saying it suffering from the same situation. So make us slow down and try and heal yourself. Heal yourself first. Do you have that type of relationship with your person? Yeah. Do you try to take revenge with your person in your own relation? Are you grudgeful? Are you envious? Are you quick to wrath? These are elements of bad-mindedness. And we have pointed it out and said to the item now, heal yourself.
Not even in a Babylon, ain't Jesus. Said living in a Babylon, ain't Jesus. No.
Heal up Ayaso. Heal up Ayaso. Ayaso is the sound you're hearing now. Living in Babylon.
Oh, yeah, now. Sadamasagana. In a positive way. Sadamasagana.
Rastafari also has a contribution to make to the economy, There's a place in St. Catherine called Pinnacle, the foundation community established by Leonard P. Owell within the Rastafari tradition. Pinnacle should be made into a mecca for Rastafari. Anybody around the globe who call themselves Rasta, to really experience Rasta, you have to go to the Mecca. The Muslims do it and become a multi-million-dollar journey and a business. And I must convert Mecca into a pinnacle. Or make Pinnacle into a Mecca. And build economics now around that, because everybody, all the people around the world who embrace Rastafari would like to know that there's a Mecca. So we have the potential enough to regroup and reorganize. We have to just get rid of those bleeders and reconfigure the whole national structure, reorganize governance from central government to regional government. We develop regional pride now rather than party pride. and get to the point where we can say Jamaica first. I long for that day to hear the leaders of our country get up and say Jamaica first, especially after an election, to show that is one country. Can we get there? Can we get there?
I'll stand up and fight now. Fight for oh, yeah, now. Sadama Sagana. Let you be brave. In a positive way. Sadama Sagana. Let you be brave. In a positive way.
It's Bad Nine and it's by the footballer Leon Bailey. Is not a part of the Jamaica makeup. Fight out the father and his professional attitudes. Yeah, bad-minded, grudgefulness. Them things that hold down Jamaica. And not coming from the bottom up, it's also coming from the top down. Whoop a purging of a guan. Whoop a purging.
To keep me safe and guide me to travel on my way. Temptation is so strong, but I must fight it. I'll stand up and fight. Fight for myself. Oh, yeah, now.
Yeah, Metamorphosis on the way out. Another edition. Invite my listeners to check out my Facebook page on Thursdays from 7 to 9, where I engage into some reasoning about sports and football. This is a World Cup year. So Thursday nights from 7 to 9 at Doc Iman Blak at Facebook Live. And then Saturdays now, I'm a bridging Osa Bora from 7 to 9, Saturday Night Live. Serious hardcore reasoning. No holds barred. Saying it as it is. So, you know, Size FM is the foundation. And we give thanks for the presence. We hail up Cassidy as an engineer and Jacko who passed through and all Portland vibration. All people in Port Antonio, hail up Titchfield Hill, Sir Dunstan and the Domino crew. It's Roman, you know. Hail the people in West Portland, East Portland, Kingston and St. Andrew, Northeast Jamaica. All those who are listening on the internet and various devices in North America and Europe, Africa, down under, in the